Hello, you're watching New Vision TV News around Uganda. I am Rathina Sijin. These are the stories making headlines across the country. From Buikwe district, 3 people died on spot in an accident that also left 2 female Canadian nationals and a 5-year-old boy with injuries. The Thursday midnight accident, which occurred at Chitega village near Lugazi town along Jinja Kampala highway, involved a truck registration number UAR 019, which rammed into a Land Cruiser registration number UAS 343W, in which the deceased and Canadians were commuting in. The Land Cruiser had picked the Canadians from Entebbe Airport while heading to Bugembe in Jinja district. Meanwhile, the truck which rammed into the Land Cruiser was heading to Kampala. Helen Butoto, the Sezwa Regional Police spokesperson, confirmed the accident, saying they had embarked on investigations. Butoto said the truck driver, Joseph Kimutai, a Kenyan national, lost control and left his side until he crossed to the right side, where he rammed into the Land Cruiser, sweeping off its top roof before it hit a saloon car and a motorcycle that had been parked. Eyewitnesses said they had to cut the wreckage to retrieve the deceased, whose heads were chopped off. Now, news from KABAKA district. Stakeholders in the mining sector in western Uganda have expressed concern over the increasing illegal activities in the region. During a one-day workshop organized by Key Corruption Out of Uganda, a local non-government organization, and Global Rights Alert in Kirigime Guest House in KABAKA municipality on Thursday, stakeholders said that this illegal mining has had a negative impact on the environment. According to David Sebagala, the regional inspector of mines in Chigezi region, the Constitution of Uganda puts the ownership of minerals to the state, and thus any mining activities should be licensed. He said that the government of Uganda needs to put up strong measures against the practice to promote environmental conservation. Now, away from stories making headlines across the country, let us take a look at the stories that are making headlines in the New Vision that also includes stories making headlines across the globe. Now, the headlining story today in the New Vision says, who will take Abiriga's seat? We also have the Arua municipality seat fell vacant after MP Ibrahim Abiriga was shot dead near his home in Kawanda Wakiso last month. So the battle is on, and we see some of the candidates who have been nominated for that seat. Okay, moving on, another headlining story which also captures the front picture of today's New Vision says, Museveni campaigns for Shema Ibanda flag bearers. The political scene is not settled now, so those are some of the stories making headlines in that sector. Moving on to the beat, we see making boys men the Karimajongwe. That is a story on page 29 and 30 into this copy of the New Vision. We go to security, where VIP death threats linked to Dr. Chienji. That is a shocking story that really needs to be read in detail when you buy your copy of the New Vision. Now, more stories making headlines inside the New Vision. We see Kaihura case is a fabrication, says his lawyers, and also KABAKA urges youth to exploit government projects. More in the New Vision. We see Runyankwale Quran unveiled. Interesting story. Okay, moving on inside the New Vision, let's just go to the pullouts that come out every Friday. We have the Harvest Money pullout. We see the allure of mixed farming. Sulaiman Mwanga makes a fortune from growing a variety of crops on his farm. And then best practices why farmers should always test soils. That is a tip for those who are into this sector and those who hope to join the sector soon. The Harvest Money pullout is your guide to your farm. So get your copy and read what is making headlines in here. So boost your soil fertility and big. That is a story. Then ginger farmers show a hit. Okay, the story, the picture we see a pictorial here, and really interesting stories that you need to read when you buy your copy of the New Vision. Okay, let's go to another pullout that makes headlines every Friday. It is called The Beat. The Beat says, turning boys into men turning boys to men, the Karimajongwe. Now moving on to other stories. Yesterday everyone talked about the Uganda Airlines, and the business section here has a story for you which says Uganda moves closer to getting national carrier. So so get the story there and read in it. Let's go to the sports docket, which says, are you good to blast off? That is a question. You want to know the answers? Get your copy of the New Vision. And then we see mega clash and also tough fight. More big headlines more big headlines in the sports docket. So grab your copy. And shillings. And remember, we are proudly the leading daily. Yeah, every Friday the Kampala Sun comes out to give you what you missed in the entertainment world in Uganda. The copy is out at only 1,000 shillings, and the headlining story in the Kampala Sun today says, I miss Bobby. Bobby cries out. Aww. And then police ordered to arrest Judith Hard and Jack Pemba. Then Daskago girl arrested in cemetery. What a story. Judith Bavidia hides mother. Brian White now in trouble over rent. What has happened to the Cash Money brother? Okay, the goats return. Okay, that is a story in the Kampala Sun. We also have Ugandans jealous lot. Hides mother as wedding nears. Those are headlines in the Kampala Sun. The celebrity death match has Brandon Semanda and Yal Okecho. Do you know these people? Do you know how they performed? Kampala Sun has the stories for you. And then time out in the sports sector, we see Misaga pushes out of Villa and joins Cove. More stories making headlines in the Kampala Sun. If you want to laugh and have the best of your weekend, this is the copy for you at only 1,000 shillings, and it comes out every Friday. Moving on to more stories making headlines across the country. We go to Kukumbe, where the Uganda Marine Police Unit has launched enforcement against transporters plying the Lake Albert's waters without life-saving equipment. This was revealed by Michael Waranga, the Deputy Commandant in charge of the Marine Police Unit. He was speaking while receiving a donation of life-saving and rescue equipment to facilitate the police in search and rescue operations. The items were donated by the United Nations Central Agency Response Fund through the International Organization for Migration, Uganda Rapid Response Project for Congolese refugees. The ceremony was attended by representatives from the refugee community, host community officials from IOM, UN, and local leaders. Waranga said the crackdown is a remedy to the frequent accidents on the lake that have resulted in the loss of lives. He said enforcement officers have already been deployed on the lake. Finally, from Rakai district, police was called in to thwart a clash between Buganda loyalists and the Kochi chiefdom youth over the MTN billboard with a picture of KABAKA Bernard Muwenda Mutebi II. The controversial billboard was erected in Rakai Town Council 2 weeks ago, provoking mixed reactions among diehards of either institution. Daniel Samula, the Rakai town clerk, said the advertising agency that has not been identified submitted its request to the town council authorities to raise an MTN banner to promote the company brand. The agency, however, instead put a different banner on the billboard containing a picture of KABAKA with the message Wangala I Savasaja, literal meaning long live the king. A group of coach youth led by Tom Nelson Bukenya protested against erecting the billboard, claiming it was undermining their chiefdom's leader Apollo Kabumbuli Sansa II. Brian Sembatia, another youth leader, urged that the agency did not consult Kochi leaders before erecting the billboard. Buganda loyalists also came out to protect the billboard, saying Kochi was one of Buganda's counties and had several people who pay allegiances to the KABAKA. Such utterances annoyed Kochi youth who pulled down the banner. They further vowed to switch to other networks that respect the Kamswaga. Stanley Ndaula, the Coach Information Minister, said the motive behind the provocation billboard was unknown. He added that Kochi chiefdom was independent of Buganda and therefore needed to be respected.